Hello, everybody. Welcome to the February 1st, believe it or not, second month of 2024 Subdivision Committee. I would call for the opening announcements, please.
Before we begin the agenda, the Wichita-Sedgwick County Metropolitan Area Planning Commission would like to take this opportunity to welcome everyone to this public hearing. Copies of the agenda for today's meeting, the public hearing procedure, and Planning Department staff reports on all agenda items are available on the counter in the lobby. The Planning Commission's bylaws limit the applicant of a subdivision application and his or her representatives to a total of 10 minutes of speaking time at the start of the hearing on that item, plus up to 2 minutes at the conclusion of that hearing. All other persons wishing to speak on agenda items are limited to 3 minutes per person. However, if they feel that it is needed and justified, the Commission may extend these times by a majority vote. All speakers are requested to state his or her name and address for the record when beginning to speak. When you are finished speaking, please share your name, address, and the case number on the sheet provided in the room. This will enable staff to notify you if there are any additional proceedings concerning that item. All speakers at the podium, please remove your face mask before speaking into the microphone.
Thank you. Now the roll call, please.
Certainly. Bill Johnson is absent. Ryan Fry is absent. Bob Duell.
Here.
Ann Fox.
Here.
Josh Blick is absent. Bob Aldrich.
Here.
John Williams Bay.
Here.
4 members present. Do we have a quorum? We do. So the alternates, if you're in the wings, you are dismissed. I would announce that item number 3, Subdivision 2023-00049, Indian Ridge Final Plat has been deferred indefinitely. That leaves us 3 cases for today, so I predict we'll be out of here in a few minutes. Vacation, knock on wood. Okay, I jinxed it, didn't I? I jinxed it. Let's go to vacation item 2023-00056. This is a vacation between K96 and 37th Street North, just west of Rock Road. May I have the staff report, please, Philip?
Good morning, Subdivision Committee. Philip Zevenbergen with Planning Staff. This request is a vacation of a portion of a platted drainage easement on the south side of East 36th Street, just west of North Rock Road. Property is zone MF18, and the intended development is duplex development on a single lot. The drainage easement was, it's not a platted drainage easement. It's a drainage easement by separate instrument, and it's on the east side of Lot 2, Block 1, the Killarney 2nd Edition. And the purpose of it is to remove the encumbrance from the property in order to facilitate future multifamily development. In 1992 is when the easement was dedicated by separate instrument on film page 1273 on pages 1580 through 1582. If you want to go to the aerial map, please. There are public storm sewer facilities in the vacation area. Wichita Stormwater has no objection to the vacation. The stormwater facilities are indicated here in the brown. The applicant will be required to submit a private project drainage for the relocation of these facilities. Relocation will be at the applicant's expense. Wichita Fire and Public Works and Utilities do not have any objection to the vacation. Cox and Evergy do not have any objection. They have no equipment in the area. Evergy commented that Kevin Reischik is the contact for this, and it sounds like they're already in conversation with the developer and reviewing the site plan at this time. Either way, condition number 1, which would require any easements or relocation of existing utilities at the applicant's expense, covers all utilities in the area. I have not heard any public comment on this application, and I can stand for any questions.
Any questions from the commission? Any additional comments or questions from the advisory committee members?
Rhonda with Evergy. Just wanted to clarify that the first vacation request for this lot for setback that was done previous to this, I had put Stephen Chronister as the contact because I wasn't aware it was going to be duplexes at that time. But Kevin Reichik has taken over the whole project, so he'll be the contact for that item as well, and any other items associated with it.
Okay, thank you. Any other advisory board comments? Do we have the applicant, please, come forward? You get a half hour. Whoa, make that 10 minutes.
Kirk Miller, K. Miller Engineering. I'm the agent. I appreciate the challenge of using a half an hour or even 10 minutes, but I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. We studied it. Everything seems good as far as the drainage. We will reroute that storm sewer along the east property line and tie it back into the low area over there, and be glad to answer any questions.
Any questions for the applicant? Wow, we're cooperative and collaborative today. Thank you. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak on this item? Seeing and hearing none, bring it back to the commission. What would your pleasure be?
Move to approve.
Motion from Commissioner Williams-Bay.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Dool. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No, there's no one left. Unanimous 4-0. I got up too early this morning, as you can tell. Item number 4, Subdivision 2023-00062. This is a one-step final plat for the Subtle Path Addition, 600 feet south of West 21st Street North along Mays Road. Staff report, please.
Morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff. Here to present the Subtle Path Addition. Next screen. Okay, this is a one-step final plat for a 16-lot residential subdivision located within the city of Wichita. This is a replat of the one-lot West Link Christian Church Edition. Next screen. This is the preliminary plat, and then the next screen. Oh, sorry. Oh, this is the final plat. Staff comments, item A, Public Works Utilities requires the applicant to extend sanitary sewer to lots 5 through 15 and extend water to all lots. They request additional 20-foot easement in the front of lots 13, 16. Item D, Stormwater Management advises the applicant needs to submit a drainage plan for review. Item E, proposes duplexes with a duplex on each lot. A total of 32 units would be proposed. The city fire requires developments of 1 or 2 family dwellings where the number of dwelling units exceed 30 shall provide 2 separate and approved fire apparatus access roads. But Wichita Fire Department has approved over 30 dwellings with only 1 access according to code D107.1. Fire advises gates shall follow code. Traffic engineering advises that the PUD has access guaranteed through Mays Road and requests that this statement be put on the face of the plat. Item N, standard city health comments about wells being properly permitted. Item O, street names are missing and GIS will need to approve the street names. Item R, the setbacks shall be in accordance with the T3 2-family residential zoning district. 20-foot front setbacks are proposed on the plat, and a PUD adjustment is needed so that the perimeter of lots matches the perimeters of the PUD, and so that the platted setbacks matches the setbacks identified in the PUD. And item E, Evergy will not need to request additional easements. Will need to request additional easements, and that has been presented to the agent for those easements to be put on the plat. And item FF, Black Hills Energy requests a 5-foot or a 10-foot utility easement along portion of the east property line connecting the east utility easement located along the north property line. Questions, comments?
5 or 10, which is it? Oh,
It's
let's have
either
some
one.
advisory comments.
That was their comment, 5 or 10. So
What it is we had marked on the plat itself that some will be 10 foot, some will be 3 foot, actually not 5 foot. That was changed yesterday afternoon, speaking with Heidi Bryan, subdivision reps working with Chris. So we're agreeable to that. And I sent a note and a revised plat showing those marked. So it's 2 different areas with 2 different size of easements. We don't want to take more than we need. So.
oh, I clarify that comment came from Black Energy Co-op and not Evergy. So
Our distribution area, that's weird.
okay. Well, they provided comment for it. So
Does Commissioner Aldridge, you have a question?
I do. Regarding item H, where traffic engineering wants access to Mays Road, how are they going to make that access? How are they going to connect?
let's see if you could go back to screen. Oh, I think I just messed everything up. If you could go back to the aerial, as you can see, the road goes through here, and then the access, it would be the access that engineering is talking about is this loop road that goes over to Mays Road.
Okay. And also on the plat that I have over on West Lawn Street, it's not, I don't see where it's showing the width of the street right there on the plat. And we know there's no street names at all on the streets right there, but let's see. I think that's all I had, all the questions I had.
Okay. If you go to the plat. I believe I forgot the street name. Yeah. But I believe the street width they're shown right here. The widths of the proposed.
I was referring to is that we're on West Lawn Street where the opening is at the looks like the west, the bottom southwest, where it first starts coming in right there. They're not showing the width there. Is that something that needs to be shown?
I'll let the applicant address that since they designed that. He'll clarify that for the width of that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Any other advisory committee comments? Stormwater?
Yeah, this is Joe Hickle, City Stormwater. Item D, the drainage plan has been approved.
I have additional comment.
Rhonda?
Rondi with West Evergy. Oh, you can tell I'm old, huh?
Black Hills now because it's on the paper.
35 years, you kind of forget. So on the north side of the cul-de-sac and along the west line, that will be the what she asked for, I believe, was an additional 10 feet of easement. And then on the south side of the cul-de-sac and then down the east line of it is where we're asking for it to be, instead of a 15-foot utility and drainage, we want it to be an 18-foot. We agreed to go from 20 to 18. That's it.
Thank you for that clarification. Additional advisory committee comments. Fire, can you just tell us why the waiver is still safe? 32 units not having 2 openings.
So per code, it's 2 access points are required after 30 dwellings. This is just 16 residential duplexes, so it's 32. Speaking with the fire code official, they were okay with just going over 2 additional dwellings to approve this plat.
Okey doke. Just want to make sure we're safe. Applicant, your turn.
Chris Rose with Boffman Company, agent for the applicant. The applicant agrees with staff comments. We do ask that you allow us to work with city staff on the sewer alignment and the width of easements that they have requested. With Black Hills Energy, they requested 5 or 10. Their comment was, if there's something else in there needed, if somebody else needs to be in there, they would request 10, but we don't see anybody else going in there, so we would probably just do a 5. But if they do need 10, we will gladly do 10. The West Lawn Street there, I should have probably had that labeled as a width there. I'll get that corrected, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions from the commission? Item S talks about the 6-foot interior side setbacks. Are you able to make that adjustment to 6 feet?
Well, so with the plat, we usually can ask for 5 foot. Now, this is part of a PUD. We will have to do an adjustment or amendment to the PUD. So when we do that, we'll also ask for the 5 foot. We'll update that. I think we'll have it covered with the PUD and with the plat. We'll have a note on there that says we can do 5 foot or ask for 5 foot.
And that's also a fire safety issue, correct?
We've been doing 5 foot,
for a while.
For a while. Yeah, I think we do have to ask for a waiver. But, with this is a little bit interesting because of the PUD. I think the PUD will create the ability to do 5 foot. Planning staff could correct me on that, but I think that's how it would be.
Commissioner Bay?
I'm a little confused. Is this Black Hills area or is it Evergy's?
Black Hills is gas, I believe, and we're electricity.
Yeah.
I think what happened is Black Hills has a gas somewhere up in here. And so they just want to continue down and then serve the front. And so they need an easement right across that lot line right there. And we do have the room to be able to give them the 5 feet or even the 10. If Evergy needed to come in here and do something like that as well, then we would go to 10.
Thank you.
We'll bring it back to, is there anyone from the public who would like to comment on this case? Seeing and hearing none, I'll bring it back to the commission. In honor of Bill Johnson, what's your pleasure? Can I make a motion for approval from the chair per staff comments?
Second.
Have a motion, Fox, second, Commissioner Williams Bay. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
None left. Motion passes 4-0. Brings us to item 5. One-step final plat for the Herndon Additions subdivision item 2024-0001. This is located at the northeast corner of Mays Road and K96 in the county. Staff report.
Morning, Greg Sharon, planning staff. This is one-step final plat for Herndon Addition. This is 2-lot residential subdivision located in the county, but within the city of Wichita 3-mile ring. It is designated as a small city urban growth area in the Mays urban area of influence. Staff comments, item A, the applicant has submitted the subdivision to the city of Mays, and the planning administrator has provided comment that they will not be involved in the planning process. However, once platted, if annexation is requested or likely take place as they're consulting with the property owner to address any municipal infrastructure needs that will be available to them if they wish to annex into Mays. Item C, since sanitary sewer and water should be added to the comment. Is unavailable. The MABCD requires test and soils work for appropriate sewer and water wells. Item E, stormwater management has received the drainage plan, but still needs to provide comment and approval. Item G, complete access controls with 2 openings are shown along Mays Road. The applicant or the agent has been working with County Public Works to address their concerns of access openings, and a revised plat has been submitted, which meets county's approval of access controls and openings. So they are, my understanding, they are fine with what was presented to them. Item J, Wichita Public Works and Utilities states that the plat is outside of the city's Wichita service territory. Item N, County Fire Standard comment regarding access roads. And the proposed entrance to subdivision will connect into Mays Road at elevations below the 100-year floodplain. However, the applicant has submitted a waiver of floodplain requirements for Sedgwick County Service Drive and provided by Sedgwick County Fire Department. And I just included item N, standard city fire, just because it is within the 3-mile radius of Wichita. And item E, I did not include Evergy's comments in the report, so I will go ahead and state what their comment is here at the podium. Evergy Distribution will not need to request additional easements at this time. Brandon Chad, design representative, will be contact for this plat. Any relocation or removal of existing service due to this plat will be at the applicant's expense. Also, Evergy Transmission does not have any objection to this plat. It appears that Evergy does own a 50-foot right-of-way easement on the plat. Any future construction that takes place within that easement, Evergy will need to offer approval for those improvements. And these comments will be included in the final Plan Commission staff reports. And I'll stand for any questions.
Questions for staff?
Rondi with Evergy. I will provide the contact information for the transmission engineering department. It's Tim Weiss, and I will provide the phone number and the email address to the applicant.
County Public Works.
Daniel Schrant with Sedgwick County Public Works. Just want to talk a little bit about access control, since we've had a lot of discussions about that lately. So first, part of our access control policy, which I've mentioned before, was coordinated when it was developed with Wichita, Sedgwick County, and KDOT. I don't think since I've been on the committee I've had to comment on it, but our access management policy does request 1,320 feet from an interchange with the KDOT highway. So the southernmost access point has been pushed further north into an area that maximizes that distance as much as we can. I just want to point that out because that's new information. It's quite a distance. And then the northern access point, as it was shown on the original plat submittal, was on the northern boundary line. That is adjacent to a access point just to the north with their neighbor. And so on the revised final plat, the applicant has relocated that just a little bit south so it lines up with an existing drive across the way from each other to help reduce the number of conflict points. So with all that said, I'm happy with the changes that we've made. I just wanted to highlight that change in regards to KDOT interchanges.
Thank you. Any other advisory member comments? Then I would call for the applicant, please. Please state your name and address, and you have 10 minutes to tell us about your project.
Good morning, Logan Mills with Certified Engineering Design, 1935 West Maple, agent for the applicant. We're in agreement with staff comments, and we appreciate Daniel's willingness to work with us on the access. So I'll stand with for any questions you guys might have.
Any questions for the applicant? Seeing and hearing none. Is there anyone from the public who would like to comment on this case? Seeing and hearing none, I'll bring this back to the commission.
Move to approve per staff comments.
We have a motion to approve from Commissioner Williams Bay. Can I have a second? Second from Commissioner Duell. Any further discussion? Mr. Aldrich, you're awfully quiet. I need to hear, do you have any questions or concerns?
Well, I just want to make sure, especially we're tied into the flood rate reserve, that there's not any encroachments on that, because I still think we need to always protect that, for obvious reasons. So, but they still got to get approval from FEMA, I guess, correct? If there's any of the issues going into the floodway.
Yeah, so if they're going to be doing any kind of filling operations in there, they'll have to go through FEMA to get a permit, as well as the Kansas Department of Water Resources.
And I believe that's where our right-of-way easement's located. So we've asked that they contact us any construction because we don't usually allow any construction.
Sort of that's the protection, I guess, of the floodway.
All right, then I would call for a vote. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None left. Motion passes 4-0. And as there's no more business, you are adjourned for a beautiful day in Kansas.